Okay kiddos, in today's lesson we're going to sketch up our final artwork for which we're going to do our pastel sunflower artwork. Okay, now if you don't want to use pastels, you can use any other type of dry media that you like, or if you want to do another wet media like watercolors or acrylics, you're more than welcome to. But what we are going to do is a different composition or arrangement. Now you can copy along with what I've done, or you are welcome to use your own ideas or your own plans from earlier on. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get that table plane drawn up first. So come halfway down your page and then come about halfway down again. Okay, so it's about a quarter. Then I want you to simply sketch along a nice straight line for the table edge there for me. Now if you wanted to, you could use a ruler. Okay, that's more than okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to sit our vase on there, or our vase. So this one's a little bit wider. So we're going to sketch around a curve on one side and then the same on the other, as best as you can to get those to match in terms of how the curve is, the angle. And then we have a little bit of a curve on the bottom coming through. Okay, then we can go and rub that little table line off, and then you can choose to put any pattern or design onto your vase. I'm just going to separate mine by putting a nice little curve line in there, and when it comes to colouring it, I might do one colour there and one colour under the bottom. Okay, let's put a little top on this. Now, we're not likely to see this when we put in our sunflowers, especially in this one, because we've got this big, beautiful sunflower in the middle. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw those sunflowers. So let's start with the first one, a little stalk that comes up, and you want to draw a nice oval shape. And then off the oval, you've got some nice big petals coming off. Now, the bigger the petals, the easier it's going to be for us to colour it in, especially if we're using pastels. So if you make it nice and big, that's super duper awesome. When we get to these other ones as well, I'll show you some different techniques as well for those that we can use. Now, if, like me, when you're drawing it up, you may have done your sunflowers a different size or they didn't fit. Like, see how I'm not too sure how I'm going to get that one to fit? We can change the plan when we're drawing, okay, to get it to fit better. Don't be afraid of that. So on this side, I'm going to draw that one. So I'm going to be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to now pull up my sketch. I'm going to draw a circle, not an oval for this one. I'll move it over a little bit. I'm going to draw a circle over here, like this. And then I'm going to go around and draw that first layer of petals. So you don't always have to stick to the plan, kiddos. If you have a new idea when you're drawing, or you want to move something around, of course you can. All right, next thing, we put the second layer. So inside of those gaps, we go around. Now, when it comes to coloring this one in with a pastel, because we've got these beautiful pencil lines, that's going to help us when we color it in. So we will be able to still see the shapes of those pastels. See how we've got that one coming through there. So don't worry about having to color each one in individually. I'll show you a little trick for how we can do this one. Okay, and then we want some little dashes with the inside of our first sunflower there. Okay, now we need something up over on this side, so I'm going to carry on with the plan there. So let's pull up another stem. Then we want to create a circle, the center of our sunflower. And off the circle, we're going to draw those petal shapes. We're going to put the first layer in. And then we can go in and pop the second layer behind. Okay, and then I'm just going to rub out that stalk there. Alright, number 4, we want this sort of almost looks like a fried egg shape coming through. Pull your stalk, oval, and then you can do a squiggly line around, and then it just has some little patterns like these, and these little curves, they resemble, let's fold the stalk out because we won't see the stalk on top, it's underneath. These little curves represent like the folds in the sunflower. Now we've got 4 sunflowers on there. There's nothing wrong with having even, but it tends to be in our work when we have odd numbers, so 3, 5, 7, that it looks a little bit better. So at the moment we've got 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. We've got nothing in there and it looks a little bit blank. So what we're actually going to do is see how before I couldn't quite fit that one in, so I moved it. Let's pop something else in here. So I'm going to pull a stalk up. I'm going to do another circle. And then I'm going to pop some little petal shapes around like this one, but they're a little bit thicker. Layer 1 and then layer 2. What that one does, it helps also fill up that center line there. So it looks like we've got a nice little composition plan there with our 5 sunflowers coming through. So in the next video we're going to have a look at how we can blend all of these in using our oil pastels, and then we might use a little bit of watercolor like this to go around the background.